I am Hatonn. I greet you in the love and the light of our infinite Creator. As always, it is a blessing to speak to this group, and above all, I would like to greet those whom I have not greeted before, and to welcome back to the group one who has been absent, and to touch each of you with the love of my brothers and me. The love is always with you, my friends. We of the Confederation of Planets in the service of the Infinite Creator are here not to walk among you and trade with you, not to stand in your seats of government and change your laws, not to affect those forces which have authority over you. For as it says in your holy works, we are very willing to render unto Caesar those things which are Caesar's. We are not here to be an authority over you, for it is our understanding that you are in authority over yourself. Perhaps not in this illusion completely, but we are beings of reality, and we do not wish to deal with the illusions of government and society, for although they are very real to you and are necessary for your learning at this time, they are transient. And we wish to speak to that part of you that is not transient. We would tell you a little story about a young man. We shall call him John. John was a fine young man, intelligent and well loved by all who knew him. He was successful in his work, and he achieved all that he wished to achieve very easily. But there was one thing he could not achieve. He could not achieve wisdom. He could not achieve peace of mind. He could not achieve joy. In other words, my friends, he was not free. He was not in a state of love. And so he collected money, great quantities of money, for he knew that with money one could buy much. And he went to one teacher after another, attempting to buy wisdom. And he found beautiful tracts of land, and he bought them. And he took his teachers and gave them land. He spent many years attempting somehow to, shall we say, plug himself into freedom. He gave all that he thought he had, and all he found in the end were many, many words, many actions, but no peace, no joy, no freedom, for he was always conscious of himself. He was always figuring. He was always self-aware. He could not get free and into a space in which he was so completely himself that he was a channel for joy. Finally, one day, John, who was no longer a young man, who was no longer handsome, and no longer rich, for he had given all his riches away, despaired, and he went into the mountains. Mountains which were no longer his, and he did not take food, and he did not take bedding, for he was truly in despair. And it came to him, suddenly that he might pray as he had done often in the past. But this time, my friends, it was different. He had nothing to give. And so he opened himself up, just a crack, and was almost blinded by the light that came through as he opened himself, no longer proud, no longer conscious of himself, but in total honesty saying, "Father, I have nothing but what I seek." Once he had opened himself, he became suddenly joyful, and after a timeless moment on his knees in the pine needles, in the gray of evening, he arose. And he reached and hugged the trees, and he capered and danced and sang. And he was totally free, and he looked around, and suddenly the world was whole, and he had everything. My friends, what this man, John, did with the rest of his life is not important. He had a mission which he had brought with him into this experience, and he was no longer blocking. He had a simple mission, and that mission was to be, and by that being, to give light. When he realized who he was, he no longer blocked the light. My friends, each of you has his belongings, both physical and mental, both emotional and psychic. These things are the baggage of the illusion. Some are more useful than others, but all are less than central to reality. We ask you to meditate. And in that meditation, bring nothing but the simple perfection of yourself. Do not try to offer qualities and specifics, but in meditation, open your heart to wisdom. Nothing less, my friends, nothing more. Imagine what you brought into this experience that you call your physical life, and what you will bring when you leave, and know that and only that is what you are attempting to open within this illusion to the light of the Creator, as we may call him. Call the Creator what you will, but know that reality is very simple, and that true freedom lies not in being somebody, not in great action, not in great movement, but in the state of your heart at any given moment. Go in meditation to that reality and feel yourself blossom. I am Hatonn. Is there a question? Questioner, I desire to channel, and I wonder if my posture sometimes distracts me because sometimes during meditation I feel numb. Have you some suggestions on better posture and concentration for channeling? I am Hatonn. There are no certain answers to your question on posture. We have said this before. The posture that aligns the physical body with the physical channel is the posture which your yogis adopt. However, there are very few people who can do this comfortably. Therefore, we often have suggested that you find that posture which is comfortable, and if that be horizontal, vertical, or even standing on your head, which is of course doubtful, but if it were comfortable, we would suggest that you adopt this, regardless of the biases which others may have about your posture. For instance, the instrument through which I am talking through now is not in a very good position for the free movement of psychic energy. Consequently, she often overheats. However, were we to insist that she sat in such a way that the chakras were firing totally in a vertical line, we would lose this channel, for her discomfort would be such that we could not use her. Consequently, we prefer that she overheats. We suggest that you experiment with the comfort factor in mind. Moreover, we would suggest that the main barrier to channeling in almost each and every channel is the working of the consciousness, intellectual mind. No matter what the conscious desire of the channel, it is such an ingrained habit to analyze and judge what one says before one says it, that blurting out in front of other people that which are not sure may be intelligent sounding is completely foreign to your nature. Thus, the thing to do is to get comfortable and then to put your concentration on the one thing that is truly keeping you from being contacted consciously, and that is the stilling of the conscious mind. When you are sending, you cannot receive. It's very simple, but it is very difficult. The stilling of the conscious mind. When you are sending, you cannot receive. It's very simple, but it is very difficult.